Okay, I'm going to tell my story really quickly and then we'll get on with business. So, I'm doing a gig at Mesros, New York, which is a really big thing for me.
Ooh,
Laura, did you and
big
Wendy
thing.
coordinate on your outfits today? Striped girls? Um,
Wow, that's
and
funny.
so, and I haven't had a headlining gig in a jazz club in New York in many years. And so, it's really important for me. And so I decided to do a tribute to my late husband, Hod, who bebop genius, because it's 10 years since his passing. And so I'm doing these, his compositions, and a lot of them are Fran Landisman lyrics. She wrote Spring Can Hang You Up the Most, Ballad of Sad Young Men. A lot of these nobody's ever heard before. And so it's exciting that I have these songs that are really wonderful that no one's heard. And then I have these other things of Hod's. And anyway, it's going to be very exciting. Josh Richmond on piano. I'm very happy about it. And I
He's
decided,
amazing.
and I,
Wait, when is this going to be,
on Tuesday,
Stephanie?
September 15th
Oh,
in New York. So I decided I want to sing the lines, at least have a couple of standards. So Fascinating Rhythm and Best Thing for You would be me. I did on my French cooking record in a duet with Bobby Roach on French horn. And I said, why don't I show how amazing, because Hod wrote those lines for me, which is, again, part of my education as learning how to scat, was getting this vocabulary. And I could not find the music with the line written out. I found it for Fascinating Rhythm. I could not find it for Best Thing is for You. So guess what I had to do? I had to transcribe it from the recording. And I'm in my
oh,
second hour of it, trying to write out notes, trying to figure out where everything is. And it's so
wow.
hard. It was so hard. And I sort of knew it, but it was like, and I'm like, I was reading it at the time and now I'm having to, recreate it. And I had to figure out where the beats were, what was off the beat, and it's going like what's on, and I was trying to figure, oh my gosh, first I got the notes, then I tried to put the bar lines in so I could at least tell which is and a lot of these are they're on the ands, which took me forever to figure that out. So
Wow.
it's really hard. I'm not finished yet, but I'm determined I'm going to do it because I want the piano player to
Wow.
play with me. So you see
Wow.
what the universe sent me. Thank you so much for reminding me I don't know everything. I did that.
Wow.
Be careful what you wish for.
Exactly. Well, I just want to say thank you all for being part of this class. You have taught me so much. Really, I threw myself into this because Lex said you can do it, and I said, well, you can't teach improvising. I can show you some ideas and some method that I've used, and then and, certain things that I think singers forget to do, and the learning the tune well is like everybody says, no problem. I've got this. I've done this a million times. And then you get into, oh, wow, that's on the beat. That's off the beat. Or when you start to recompose, realize where you can move things. So I thought that was a good place to start. And I hope you enjoyed the recomposition out, the one with East of the Sun. I think that's
Mhm.
a good way to look at that and see. I could do, da ba da do, okay, da 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 dee, and really refine your sense of eighth notes, triplets, rests,
Right.
and feel the rhythm a little bit more. So I would encourage you to do that with your songs. Just take one phrase and do it four different ways, because East of the Sun does that phrase a million times, right? So sometimes you can go
Yep.
da ba da da. Sometimes you go dee ba do de dee.
Ba-da-ba. Right.
So I think that was a good handout for that. Um,
Yeah.
the riffs, I also think were good for us to do. Can we do some of those today? I'd like to go over that again. And did someone had a question about the crossing over bar lines? I really didn't get
I
into it too
did.
much. So it's
That was
the
me.
song four. So four goes shabba-dee, ba-da-da, ba-da-dee, da-da-da, da-do-dee. It doesn't go sha-da-da,
Hmm.
little thing, da-da-da. It doesn't land on the beat. It's one, two, three, and four, and
Okay.
again, and. So that one crosses over. It doesn't. It doesn't land where you think it should land. So check that out.
Okay.
And it's a way of
Okay.
saying that it's gonna sometimes be on the end of four and yet lead you into the next measure. Sometimes it's going to take you do 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 dee da 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 dee da da. It'll take you forward better. So instead of thinking of everything as confined to those bar lines, right? Because that really does
Right.
limit our thinking. And the same with, if you hear my recomposition, matter of fact, I listened to my my Best Thing for You Would Be Me. I listened to it a lot. It's a pretty good example of, and I was pretty young starting out, it was only my second album. I take the first one pretty straight, and then I only want what's the best thing for you, and the best thing for you would be me. I don't go too far away from the melody, from the pattern, but I do recompose in that second verse. And then if you go about 2.5 minutes into the track, you'll hear the dot 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 dot, which I have to learn again. I wanted to make sure you guys got my point about how everything should sound like a story. So when I did this thing, it's really like, I'd really like to go to the show with you. Ba-do ba-da ba-do-ba-do ba-do-da. That's a specific rhythm. So even if you find the greatest notes and the greatest harmonies, ba-do-ba-da-de, ba-do-be-da-do-ba-da-da-dee, they have to sound like you're saying something. You do not want them to sound like an exercise. You do not want them to sound like they're all the same. It's going to be boring. So keep your ears open for that. What else do I want to say? When you look at a line, I don't know if you guys can see this. I didn't do it in the chat or do what I'm supposed to do, but it's, there it is. So some of the notes are chord tones, as in arpeggios. So this first one is, let me see. That's a G minor flat 5. Okay, so those first notes. Do you see how they're all on spaces? That tells you that they're like basically a third apart or a minor third. They're arpeggios, right? And the other kind of movement can be scale tones. Da ba do ba dee. So this one. Yeah, this is a pretty wild thing. But I put a bracket when it's a whole step away, and a inverted V when it's a half step, to show me that those are interval movements that are not chordal. They're more scale-like. So we're constantly combining. There's your arpeggio. You can sing that. Da ba do be 1 3 5 7. That's a minor 7. Sing to everybody in your ba ba do be. And now we're gonna go do ba do be. It's down a kind of a scale. I'm actually going like. There's the 7. 7 6 5 4 3. Everybody sing that one. 7 6 5 4 3. But instead I'm going. I'm adding that little half step. Yeah, so it's dee-da-dee-da-doo-ee. So start to recognize that, and that makes your patterns more interesting. But that's basically, especially with piano players. Yes, sorry, Victoria, did you have a question? Yes.
I do. So when you're saying based on the scale, so based on the scale of that chord tone, or so it's the chord tone within the,
Right.
okay, so
if the
the
chord in
scales
that
are
measure says-
changing.
Right. If the chord in that measure says C minor 7, that's the gospel for that place. That's you're singing something based in C. Do 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 be dee da ba do be dee be ba do be ba do do be da. Anything in that scale,
Chord,
which
okay.
is a dominant scale, minor scale, or
Okay.
the chord tones, they work. So the best thing you can do is take each chord, put it in your fingers, and say, okay, this is a minor 7, 1 3 5 7, 7 5 3 1, 1 2 3 3 4 5 5 6 7, 1 7 5 3. You can go 1 through 5 3 7. You can fiddle around with them, but those chord tones all work, as do the scale tones. So no matter what you have in that measure, so those are notes that work. And then your job
So
is
it kind of,
yeah.
it has to be in there, but I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Can you, I don't know. I have all this like random stuff floating in my head that I heard
can mess
people
with it.
say. And can you can mess with it and like do a half step away from something that's in there, kind of.
So here
In
you
the
have.
scale.
So here's your 5, 1 3 5 7.
Okay.
So if I go boo, I don't want to stay on that too long. It's a dissonant moment. It needs some kind of resolution. But if you knew it, boo, So we do use these
Okay.
passing tones, but you're not supposed to say this really fits. You're in your head. You're saying, this is kind of an uncomfortable moment that doesn't fit that I know about, and I'm taking you to something else. So it's
Okay.
that's why you can't make a book about this stuff because can you use passing tone? Buoy. So good exercise also. Let's put your fingers. Let's put your fingers. 1, 3, 5, 7. Do that again. The minor 7. This is a minor 7, right? See? And then you could do buoy, 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 buoy. That's the half step under each chord tone. Buoy, buoy, buoy. Feel that? Buoy, 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 buoy. So you can use those. Buoy, 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 buoy. But in your soul, you know that you're really singing C minor 7. It's just that much more certainty of the harmony because then you're going to go to another one. And the point I was making with this is that if you see these lines, sorry about it. That's how wild these lines get. Some of them if you see them as that is a minor 7 flat 5. You don't even have to know what it is. Do do half step. Your brain is starting to recognize the patterns, and that will make it easier to sing them. We don't want to be random about this. Singers think we can just hear it and go, and we crash all the time doing that. Nobody, I don't know anybody that can do that. But then again, I did meet Alice. She could do it, but she practiced it too. She really did. So think about grammar, think about pronunciation, and think about rhythm, so it's all becomes a story. Once we have this level of technical awareness, we can add more emotion and dynamics and color and phrasing, so that if you've got an angry song, you're not going you can do like you add some grit into it or whatever emotion you want to add so that it maintains the integrity of the story. So we know how to do that. Singers, that's easy for us. Okay, I think I want to stop talking. Okay. Who would like to sing today? Had a couple people say we're interested. Carol said you were interested in doing it. Nikki, Victoria, yes? Anybody else? So I know how many. Anna Marie want to go, and Wendy want to go. Anybody? Well, let's all just sing it. Okay, it's all good. Let's see if I can get for a second one of these riffs. Let's see if I can say share. Come on, baby, you can do it. You have to figure out where it is. You have to take it here. No, then you have to move it here. No, then you have to, I can't do this. Back to meeting. Someone's gonna just have to hold my hand through all of this stuff. It's like, okay. I'm trying to get the other thing up there too. Might have to do without you guys looking at me, I guess. I either have
You did it.
I did? You have it?
Yeah.
I don't see it. Okay, there it is, sort of. Okay.
We see you and we see the page.
Do you see that whole page?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I don't.
Well, if there's like two or three lines.
And you can see the whole thing. Okay, let me see if I can get you guys moved over. Nope, not that way. Oh my gosh. Believe it or not, I'm much better at this than I used to be, but I'm still, okay. So you can see that. Okay, I'm gonna take you off for a second. So this first one, do you see how that's, those are your half steps you're talking about, Victoria. Right? That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. That would take me, it's called upper and lower neighbors, right? Pivoting around the chord tones. That's just what you were talking about. Let me see, the D minor 7 is. So here's your D minor 7. This is a minor 7. Okay, there it is. They're starting on the B instead of the C. So I would definitely, play around with those, because that, if you have your hand on that D minor 7, that's actually pretty high for us, but let's try this low one. Well, that's the one I meant. Okay, so this bottom one, here's your E flat 7. This is the first inversion, so it's G, B flat, D flat, F, right? It's actually more than the first inversion. What is it? Help me, theory people. It's where does the F come in? The F is the ninth, so that's more like an E flat ninth, because that's what F is, right? So this is your chord tones. Ba ba do be. Everybody sing that. Ba ba do be. Now da ba do be. That's a half step. Half step. Boo 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 boo. Be boo boo be ba do be. That's wild, isn't it? Ba ba do be ba do be ba boo be do be do. It's gorgeous, but hard. But just putting those ideas in your head is going to help you get a language. That was pretty hard. See that top one? How it? Okay, that's a C7 chord, right? C minor 7, sorry. So it's going down 5, 3, 2, 1. So it's a combination of a chord tone and a scale. Shi-ba-do-da, that's going to start on the F. Be-bo-be-da, be-bo-de-ba-bo-be-da-be-da. See, you have to almost feel in your fingers which ones are part of the chords and which ones aren't. The G, the E flat, and the C are part of that chord. The D is not. That's a passing tone. Do-boo-we-bo. Now, F is not in a C minor chord. Do-be. We're kind of wrapping around that E flat. Do-we. Feel that? Boo-be. E flat's your strong note. Boo-boo-boo-bee-boo-bee. Oh, that's just your G and your C minor. Ba-da-be. That's your 5 and your major 7. Do-be-do-be-do. So he's put in a major 7 against a minor 7 chord. Do-be-do-be-bo. That's exactly what you're talking about, Victoria. How you can take a chord with a B flat in it, which is a C minor chord, and then sing a B natural. Do-be-do-be-oo.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks.
It's pretty wild. I mean, I don't know that I would necessarily think of it, but just realizing we have those options, you realize first you definitely want to feel where you stepped it safe, and then you try stepping around it, but with that as the rooting. That next exercise is a good one for that. It's pretty wild. This is pretty advanced too. Yeah. Anyway, so practice these. I would do them if you can play them. If you can play both of those chords, that would be great. And just start getting some of this stuff in your chops, as they say. Okay, well, I'm going to let you continue with that because that's good, 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 good. So that's what we do. That's what we do. We really get my screen back. Oh my gosh, I tell you. Here we are. Okay. So we listen a lot, and listening to singers is not enough because a good jazz singer is copying a horn. I'm sorry. Singers you hear that don't sound as jazzy often are singers who sing like singers. And that is maybe our criticism about us, or maybe, but to me, it's the freedom that allows us to be more human, because when we go, oh no, that's that, it's like, woo, woo, there's like sliding and all kinds of other stuff in there. So in the freest nature of scatting, it's about the most human expression, I think, and sometimes the horns have to teach you to, so we don't go, no, wee, slide it, bend it, turn it, get those painful moments. So piano, doing this from Haas riffs is interesting because piano doesn't have that the horn has, they don't have those in between notes. But that's why they do this, what we were talking about, Victoria, with that creates that dissonance, So that's what we're doing. We're listening, we're copying, transcribing, learning solos, and then a little bit of theory just to because I really hated theory. I hated it. I didn't get it. It went completely past me until I put it in my fingers, you know? And any theory class I took, they never had a piano in front of you. It's like, it's so easy when you look at it. Have you guys practiced that chord qualities exercise? It's really helpful. This is the main, this is the dominant seven. That'll really help your brain to figure out where are these places. Okay, so before we start with singing, any questions or comments going into this? You guys have been amazing, amazing, amazing. And I do offer to you, yes, Wendy.
Okay, so I wasn't here last week, so I'm a little like gap. But so you may have addressed this, but for example, like you have a lick that's like a 2/5. Okay, and so my takeaway from that is like that, let's say it's a 2-bar lick, you would use over a 2/5, for example.
And there's
Now,
tons and tons of resources about that. Jamie Aebersold has books and books about
yes.
all kinds of cute little 2/5s. By the way, 2/5 in what? If it's a D minor, G7, C, and you had a bar of D minor and a bar of G7 and 2 bars of C, you could sing C over the whole thing, right? That's all a C way of thinking, rather than think each note, each chord. Sorry, what you were going to ask.
So the question is like, would you recommend like in terms of approach to working on stuff, like you have certain riffs over, say, let's say something different than a 2/5, like something like an extended, diminished series of things that maybe goes to a bunch of different keys or something like that. Do you recommend like practicing certain riffs?
Well, that's the Aebersold way of
Specific,
teaching it. He teaches it
yeah.
that way, and people in school that know more about theory as you do, that's where they teach it too. They say, "Oh, this is the tritone substitution of this, and this is a chromatic thing going to something else." And the more you see the road ahead of you, that's what harmony understanding does. You're seeing the road ahead of you. So if I'm driving along in a C major chord and I see that the next chord's a C minor, I better not stay on an E. D, crash, so I see it
Right.
coming and I head to the E flat. So that's, yes, I think practicing riffs is a good idea. I really do. And you don't want it to end up being sounding like an exercise, which some of the very
Exactly,
schooled
exactly.
people have.
That's like where I was going because I end up doing that then, that it sounds, oh, I've got that. I'll pull that out. But it sounds like I get sick of it myself
Right.
because it's just so contrived. And
Well,
so
it's not
trying to
contrived.
find
It's just predictable for you.
for
So
me, but
make
then
it,
I don't know how to like jump off of that. Like, do I
well,
just learn a different riff or, okay.
put more in there. Put more in there and put in some of these notes that Victoria was talking about that are half step away from where you were. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I have this weird thing in me where if I'm going someplace which is predictable, I just turn,
Mm,
you know, and
mm,
it's very unsafe because I don't necessarily know where I'm going. But that's what jazz is about. It's definitely not about 100% certainty. You would never want to go see a jazz show. Well, maybe you would, I don't know. I would never want to go see a jazz show that is perfect, that no mistakes and everything is clean and nobody does anything wrong and it sounds like it's been rehearsed exactly that way 5 million times. To me, that isn't even jazz. Even if it's a big band should sound loose, should sound like they all came up with it and they all got, had something different to eat that day and they all feel different about each other. You're human beings, so that's the best essence of
mm-hmm.
it. But I think you're right. I think to study riffs is a good idea, and I'm doing
Right.
more of that in my, more theory study now that I'm getting into theory more. I'm trying to see patterns better. I'm not trying to necessarily say this is the one I'm going to use here. I'm just trying to say, oh, that worked there. Okay, that's kind of cute. So there, that's what that was in there, and I tried it. And if I tried something, I've tried to fix it. So if you're singing along and
Mm-hmm.
practicing should be start, stop. Practicing shouldn't be rehearsing where you don't stop yourself. If you make
Mm.
a big boo-boo, you should stop yourself and say, oh, that was a good idea. I know it was a good idea. What was it? It was oh, that was what it was. So sometimes we have to clean it up in order to not practice a mistake, because it's probably just not cooked yet. That's at least my experience. So, but you raise a good point. It
Well,
can be,
because the reason why I asked that is because, like, I went to one teacher years ago. I got the chance to study with Mike Longo, right, who I adored. And I kept saying, oh, I feel so bad. My training was classical. I didn't go to the jazz schools. He's like, you're better off because they all sound the same. Those guys come out of there like cookie cutters. But it sort of left me kind of with nothing in a sense, other than we worked on the rhythm a lot. But we didn't get a chance to take it any further because he passed away. But his point was kind of what I'm still wrestling with. It's sort of like, no, I don't want to sound contrived, but maybe you do have to start there because for the foundation, you can leave it. Would
but
you
don't,
agree with that?
I think you shouldn't be comfortable feeling comfortable.
It's more just like for me, like finding a system to kind of like at least walk in for a
Yeah,
bit. So
of course.
this actually makes more sense to me, like what you're presenting, because you're basically saying, like, kind of, submerge yourself in riffs and then it'll become your language.
You have
So,
different things to use. You hear somebody do something amazing, you say, "Oh, I want to. What was that? I'm going to listen to that 20 times. I'm going to
yeah,
practice it. How could I use it? I don't know. Let's play a song and see if I can use it. And so now it's in your library. So
yes,
it doesn't matter that you do each song the same way, but it does. I do think we have to practice these, just like you'd practice a scale.
makes
You
sense.
know,
It makes sense.
but
Yeah,
you do have that curse of knowing too much. Sorry, Wendy.
I do. No, but I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I really, really don't know that's so basic that's kind of embarrassing. But
No,
that's why I'm asking,
that's
in terms
beautiful.
of like an approach to kind of like what's the best use of your time when you're like, okay, I'm going to work on this now. It sounds like actually learning the riffs is a good thing. Because there's so many teachers that I have had that just say, oh, you just have to feel it, which drives me nuts because no,
You kidding?
no,
That's not what
I
any
know.
instrumentalist does. They practice, they read, they do transcriptions, they read them. Anyway,
But
you got it.
anyway, go on. I don't want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
take your
No,
time.
you're right on it. Yes,
Okay.
Mary. Sorry.
I have a question along those lines. You've given us this smorgasbord, this tasting menu, and we have all these different skills we can apply to this, and we could have a whole meal out of any one of them. Doing the riffs, sounding like a horn, learning the song the right way. I spent all day trying to relearn a song I thought I knew. Oh, unbelievable. Anyway, so when you say sound like a horn, it could be a saxophone, it could be a trumpet, it could be a trombone, it could be a bass. I mean, there's so many things to sound like. And then we try to translate it into syllables, and I'm getting all caught up in that. Like,
Yeah. And
I don't,
everyone's going to do it
what is it?
differently.
What does
Everyone's
it
going to do
sound like?
it. Everyone's going to do it differently.
Mhm.
I read a book, but I didn't read a book. I read a few chapters from a professor at Berkeley, which syllables to use and which ones not to use. I'm like, wait a minute. They would definitely tell you, never use la la, except Betty Carter has a whole solo where she goes, la, 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 la. And I'm like, that's not in the book. And then Sarah Vaughan, they said never use shush. It's kind of messy. Yeah, it is, but she does shuliba, 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 shuliba. So rules are made to be broken. I'm sorry, this is jazz, so there is no one answer. But the reason we say horns is because we are a wind instrument that's capable of more than the just notes put together. That's limited for us. We have this note. We could do ba, or we could do ba, we could do ah. I mean, we have a million sounds that can be made with that note, depending on our emotional feeling and the rhythmic placement of it. So we have so many options. And when I say horn feeling, I mean it's like if you're going to do a riff, dee da ba da, beep ba ba da, boo ba ba doo, boo ba ba, boo woo woo, like a saxophone would do. Trumpet wouldn't necessarily do that. They do a lot of tonguing things.
Doodle tongue.
So copy everything and copy. I mean, copy good people. Don't copy bad people, but copy really good foundation. Fundamental people who are really inspiring to the music. And I would say, oh, gosh, I'm just got to be so careful about this. It's so easy to become contrived in this music. to be like, oh, I'm a jazz singer, Scooby Dooby Doo. We've all seen that, right? We hopefully are allergic to that. We want to be like, be very organic in it, right? In singing. So the audience wants to hear you being true to yourself. So when you're scatting, instead of thinking of it as technical, which it is, we want it to basically come out as not technical. It's the same with your song. Nobody wants to hear you go, embrace me, my sweet. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to watch you being a singer. They want to just hear the message and feel what you're feeling and sort of
So maybe try some stuff and record myself and see what sounds authentic.
yeah. You'll definitely you'll feel it when it gets in the groove and it's like it starts to get looser and you start to get more sure of yourself in the placement of it. You start to want to dance to it. It feels better. You're human. You don't have to analyze it. You can feel it. So trust your instincts. Your instincts are, every one of you has fantastic musical instincts. And that's why turning to a teacher to tell you how to do it is like, it's like, listen, find people you like, copy solos you like, and see if you can get into this underneath the technical side of it. The really feel like, who is it? Oh, Maria, you're doing Miles, right? The last thing I heard you sing, I heard a lot of Miles in you. I heard a lot. I mean, you're picking up from listening to it night and day. It's in there. And every great jazz musician, I mean, Hod used to say he didn't have a lot of records. He had like 20 records, but he listened to every one of them 100 times, So so the listening thing is everything, how we listen. And anyway, I guess, does that kind of address what you're talking about? It's you got to think of it as not going towards perfection or not. You just have to I got something to say, and this allows me some freedom, and I'm enjoying being able to go there. And I'm comfortable if I make a mistake that no one's they don't even know it half the time. People don't even, I used to apologize every time I made a mistake. And singer came up to me and said, don't ever tell anybody that. We didn't know it. So, you learn to go through that. But yeah, it can be a painful process if you're a perfectionist because, and plus, I'm not so sure we have a good perspective when we're singing. Have you ever, when you're in the studio, did you go and listen to everything after you recorded it? Because I don't listen to myself in the recording. I hire a producer and pay him a lot of money and say, should I do it again? And say, do it again. All right, nope, you don't do it again. So, because my perspective is often wrong. I figure, oh, it was great.
It was both.
Yeah.
But I had to hear it for myself.
Okay, all right. Maria?
I have a question. Excuse me. I went to a show once where a singer who was a wonderful singer scattered in every song that she presented to the audience. And it became, for me, as a listener, something that I grew to not appreciate as the songs went on. So my question to you is, for you, I'm just curious, I mean, in a set that you have, how many songs do you scat in? And is there some, not a formula, but some suggestions that you make?
It's a good question. And I think it depends on the venue. Like in Mesro, I'm really excited about the fact that I don't have to be embarrassed about being a bebop jazz singer and singing bebop and taking more solos. So I might take 3 or 4 in a set, right? But I'm not going to do it in every song. No, that just wears everybody out, and it wears me out. And so I might do something with the bass, something with the drums, to change it up, and the ballads. I don't like to scat on ballads. I really don't. I just like to sing them, and even bossa novas. I don't know, but it depends on the venue. I mean, when I'm doing a cabaret venue, I mean, if I do 2 songs for scat, that's in a solo, that in a set, I think that's a lot. And they have to be carefully scripted, so you don't have, I mean, I certainly don't have piano take 2 choruses, bass take 2 choruses. So I don't do that I hardly do that anymore at all. Matter of fact, I remember asking Bob Doro, I said, do you have drum solos in your set? He says, not on my gigs. I was like, really? I was so happy to hear that because, I usually have one number where I feature the drums, right? But or one number where I featured the bass, and there's a little bit of it, but it's definitely not me sing the head, me scat, then a piano takes solo, the piano bass takes a solo. It's so formulaic, and it doesn't. I agree with you. It gets everybody worn down. So I don't have an exact answer, but I definitely have been trying not to do so much of it, and to try to have come up with other things to do that are improvisational, like recompose, right? Like recomposing feels very free to me, even though I'm not taking the words. Not taking the words away, so I don't lose the audience. The other way not to lose the audience, by the way, is quote some things, have humor in it. You hear, if you listen to Louis Armstrong and listen to these great soloists, they don't lose the audience. They're not doing something, technical up there and everyone's going, wow, this guy went to music school, he's really good. But, they're really hearing the jokes, the quotes from other things, and they try to find a theme in the solo that comes back to it, right? So the audience, oh yeah, I heard that before. That's really important. Otherwise, it's lost on most people.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions? This is all good questions. Victoria, did you have something I cut you off? Nope. Okay, cool. Okay, somebody sing. Carol, you said you wanted to do something. Yes?
Yes, but I think I'm going to pass
Oh, I'll get
today.
it passed for now. Okay,
Yeah,
all
I'm
right.
gonna pass.
Victoria, did you say you wanted to sing something?
Yeah, it's completely overwhelming after listening to that, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just try it. So I'm trying to turn that nervous feeling into more excitement. I just haven't. I'm just not used to that quite yet. But and I've been singing a lot of like rock, country, and pop the last 3 weeks. So anyway, no excuses. Excuses be gone. So I thought, what could I pull together, like try to sing this week with, the limited time. And so I was looking through the charts that I had, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I looked at a couple different ones. I did Close Your Eyes in the beginning. And then I was so sick of that because I did it for like a jazz camp, and I did it for like an open jam. And I'm like, I need to just put that down. And then I looked at Lullaby of Birdland, and I'm like, I like that song so much that I don't know what to do differently with it. I like the rhythm of it for some reason, and I don't think I can make it that. I don't know. So then
What do you feel
I
like doing
settled
today?
on, but not for me. But
Okay, cool.
not for me. I thought that's a really kind of pure, I consider it, like without knowing the technical terms, kind of like a more simple melody, I think, compared to some. I don't know. But I don't know how to sing it straight, but I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to do that first. Then I'm gonna try to scat. I'm going to sing it as close to the
Victoria, just do
original as
it.
possible.
Jump
Yeah.
in, jump in the water.
Okay, okay,
You can do this. We're all
okay.
taking chances and being challenged, and believe me, we feel you.
Okay, so I don't know if anyone knows the answer to this question, and it doesn't have to be answered tonight necessarily, but I wanted to put a tag on this song on iReal Pro, and I don't know, I got into this rabbit hole of it said make a coda or something, right? But then when I put a coda and tried to play it, it was not playing the last four bars like it wasn't playing through the form of the song, I guess so I don't know. So if I tag it, I'm just gonna tag it without the music. And let me find it.
Yeah, it's hard to start. If you can add a coda, that's fantastic, but it will be limiting as to where you start the tune. You might have to
Okay.
start it at the end of it's gonna have to start at the end of the coda rather than at the end of the form, because it doesn't understand. I don't think it does that, does it? Anybody? Yes.
I don't know. I just didn't understand it. I didn't have time to figure it out, so I just ended up changing it. And somebody write, I sort of know how to do that.
Yeah. One.
Okay, maybe I'll have to talk to you one after. Okay, let me just set up an intro and get going.
Yeah, if you want, you can show me afterwards.
Okay, sounds great. Okay. Okay, here we go. Just set up a little intro. No. Sorry. You know what? I got thrown off because the pickup, there's, never mind. Okay. All right. Let me make sure this is correct. Here we go. They're singing songs of love, but not for me. A lucky stars above, but not for me. With love to lead the way, I found more skies of gray than any Russian play could guarantee. I was a fool to fall and get that way. Hi-ho, alas, and also lack a day. Although I can't resist the memory of his kiss, I guess he's not for... You can't hear it? Can you hear it? No? We down days of a day, I do day. Bye, bye, yeah. Zap back, day, do, day, do, day, do, day. Zap a day, day, ba day. Zabaya do ya day, zap baya do day, zap baya do da day, do day. They're singing songs of love, but not for me. Oh, lucky skies up above, but not for me. With love to lead the way, I found more skies of gray than any Russian play could guarantee. I was a fool to fall this way. I said, hi-ho, alas, and lack a day. Though I can't resist the sweet memory of his kiss, I guess that boy is just not for me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
See, your ear knows it has ideas, that are really, really good, and you just have to go for it. And if you hear something that clashes, go to the chord and see, what chord you were hearing. Maybe you were hearing something. I only heard one that sounded like there's a chord.
yeah,
But
I wasn't
I
quite
thought
sure. And a couple words I wasn't sure of either.
you had a lot of good ideas. I think we have to all worry about laying back too much, right? Because da 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 dee. It actually da da da. That first chord.
Yeah,
Da 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 da. There it is. Da 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 da. So if you wait till
yeah.
they're writing songs, you're really almost a whole measure behind. So to understand
Okay.
where that pickup comes and where that they're writing songs of love, do
Okay.
do do da, and then when
Yeah.
you got that, then you go, they're writing songs of love, but not for me. So you keep with it, even if you're gonna,
Yeah.
lay back.
Yeah. I was trying to remember everything, like the words, because I never really learned the song, but I thought I would try to learn it too.
It's not as easy a melody as you think. I know you said it was simple.
Uh,
But Gershwin is not this, it's not do re mi at all.
Maybe I meant rhythmically because it might have been more rhythmically compared to Lullaby of Birdland. It seemed more rhythmically. I was trying to play with the rhythm of Lullaby of Birdland, and it felt like I couldn't do anything
You
with
did a
it.
lot of good experimenting with this, and I think we also, something that was common to most of us is that when we want to have notes go faster, we can't just go, "I lucky stars," we can't just throw them out there. We have to,
Yeah.
"A lucky stars are above, da, da, da,
Yeah.
da," figure out what the rhythm is so it doesn't get spazzy, and it worked.
Okay.
It's a good idea that needs a little extra cooking, and
Okay.
so you could speak it and see, "A lucky stars, a lucky stars above, da, do, if you can speak it and it sounds good, it'll sound good with the notes on it. But we just don't want to,
Okay.
feel like we're in a hurry. Very, very
Okay.
nice. Very, very good
All
work.
right. All right. Thanks.
Keep putting that jazz vocabulary in there, and you'll even have more to play with. But your harmonic understanding is really good, and your rhythm is really great. So
Cool. And I wanted to like have, the songs that I listen to the famous artists sing that song. When I heard it, it's kind of like a desperate song, but I was trying to have the mentality of, and I would like to develop this idea further to make it like, he's just not for me. After my divorce, I had a lot of this experience though of, oh, well, not for me, not for me. Like I'm trying to develop the idea and then like put it into the rhythm and the melody that it's kind of like, well, maybe it's for the best, like, isn't that nice that it's working out for so and so and so and so? But, this is just it's not time yet. It's not for me, and I'm just kind of
I
like
get
that
it.
kind of thing.
I think that was good.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think you lost it. That you lost. I think that wasn't lost on
That,
us. Yeah,
that
that was really,
attitude. Okay.
it's challenging. Okay, we're going to move on, but thank you very much for singing so beautifully and so wonderfully. I think
Thank you.
Anna Marie asked to sing something. Is that right?
I did indeed, and I am actually going back to what I did the first week, first or second week, and I found a different arrangement because the arrangement I originally used for Bye Bye Blackbird was the Ella Fitzgerald arrangement. I'm just going to do iReal Pro, and I learned my lesson last week that I have to have 4 times if I want to have an intro and then the 3
Three more.
passes. And Victoria, I am likely to fall into some traps for me about the trying to pack in too many rhythmic things in a phrase. Number one. Number two, I wanted to say to you, I used that song for my Broadway auditions. In the show, it is a very sad ballad, so I love hearing you play with it like that.
Thanks. Thank you.
You weren't without meaning for it. I mean, it wasn't like you were just saying, "Oh, he's writing songs." You had a core context for it, so that's why it worked. If you were just saying the words without anything, it wouldn't have made sense, right? So that's great. That's great. Okay, take it.
Okie dokie. Let's turn my. Okay, you guys tell me if it needs to go up or down. Pack up all my cares and woe, there I go singing low. Bye, bye, blackbird, where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet, so is he. Bye, bye, blackbird. No one here can love and understand me. Oh, what hard luck stories they all hand me. Make my bed and light the lights. I'll arrive late tonight. Blackbird, bye bye. Zabba-dabba-dabba-ba-da. Ba-doo-dum-boo-ya-da-dum-da-dum-da-da. Jadiddle-dap-dap. Skididdle-da-da-doo. Ba-doo-dum-da-doo-day. Jadiddle-ba-ba-ba-doo-bay. Ba-da-da-da-ba-ya-da-dum-da. Shut up, da-da, da-da, doop, da-da-da-da-da. Doo-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Sha-ba-ba-da-ba. Say-a-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ja-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-ba. Ba, boom bum bum bio dun do you do da. Pack up all my care and woe. There I go, oh, singing low. Bye, ba 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 blackbird. Where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet, and so is he. Ba 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 blackbird. No one there can love and understand me. Oh, what hard luck stories they all hand me. Make my bed and light the lights. I'll arrive late tonight. Blackbird, bye, bye, ba 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 bye. Blackbird, bye, ba 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 bye.
Yeah. You got some great rhythmic stuff going there, Anna Marie. Really.
Thank
And
you.
just remember, jazz, it's very easy to get excited about it, especially if the band's going ba-doom, doom, 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 go, ba-da-da-da-dee-dee-dee-dee. We start doing that and say, wait a minute. So I was always pushing the tempo a little bit, coming from my rock and roll background. So Hod would tell me, just pretend you're like a little bit behind it. Because otherwise it sounds nervous, right? And sounds rushed, which we are nervous, but we are all trying to get that cool thing going. So see if you can just do exactly what you're doing, but just a little bit behind it, right? Rather than feel you have to be on top. And I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but it seems like all my theater singers are much more in your face, ready to, here I am. It's like very like that. And the jazz sing is more like in your face, like really more like, what I mean? More back like that. It's a little bit different presentation, but our theory is that in that place is a cool groove, which makes everything really happen. And if we push on it, we lose that. That's our jazz, way of thinking about it. So, and I think just remember, the most powerful delivery of a note is when it's clean, right? So you want ba 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 beep beep. So practice it on bops. Make sure that note has a nice bullseye of pitch, so that because you've got really good ideas, and sometimes they just need a little cleaning.
Yeah.
I thought that rhythmically was very good. You had great ideas, and all of us sometimes get carried away in harmonic outer space, and I think, how do I get back? I don't know where I am. Just stop, let some space go by, and find your grounding again. Because I've had that happen to me, and I'm like, I am way out of bounds. Any comments from the peanut gallery? What do you think? Anybody? All right. Very, very good. Very good. Now, Carol, Wendy, you wanted to sing, right? Yes.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Yay. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say, I had offered, it's not a requirement because there's no requirements in this course. If you want to send me a video or an audio personally and let me respond to you personally, I'm happy to do that. Okay.
Oh,
that's
great.
I don't start at the university for 2 whole weeks. I get moments to breathe here. So, and of course, I'm always available to you guys to do a private lesson or whatever. So if you want to show me something one-on-one, we can do that too. But I'm just so excited. You guys are so great people, great personalities, and a different take on it. Each one of us should sound different, right? I told you the story maybe about the Dutch people. There were 12 of them, and they all looked very different. Some had pink hair, and some had, very conservative little flowery dresses, and, the whole thing. And they all sounded like Ella Fitzgerald. I mean, really sounded like, it's like, wow, you guys really sound like Ella Fitzgerald. I said, but you're not Ella Fitzgerald. So didn't mean to criticize them, but they really did sound like cookie cutter Ellas, And I said, I know you're different. So the jazz is such a great, blank check that lets you be yourself. So I encourage you to not copy too much, just a little bit, if someone came up to me and said, "Oh, you sound like Ella," then I'll go listen to, Keely Smith or Betty Carter or somebody, or what's her name, Nina Simone or someone like that. I kept trying to change it so that I wouldn't sound like just one singer. And I never learn a song by listening to a version of it. I never do. I just learn it, and then I get the paper, and but I don't copy the singer thing too much, because then I do end up sounding like them, no matter what, which isn't bad, but you get stuck in it. Okay, sorry. Go for it, Wendy. What you got?
Okay, so I'm going to do East of the Sun, and I'll do like God, I can't remember words. The approach of like I'll try to do it as close to the original as possible. I'll try scatting with a little bit of the riff, and then I'll change the melody going out. And I have that thing too. There's certain changes in this which I really want to get, and I'm not getting yet. But that's all right. But it's what you were saying is I have an idea. I got to keep going back and like get it in there. But I don't have it yet, so I'm sometimes go off and
I get
outer
it.
space. But
Me, it's very often I'm still hearing the last chord, and something is changing, and I'm not hearing it change because it hasn't changed yet.
oh
So
yeah,
I've got to pre-hear it and then lead to it. So you can't
yes.
be looking back at all. You have to say, how could I lead what I've got into the next thing?
Mm-hmm.
And it's challenging because we're not there yet. It's like
I'm not. And
singing
part
one
of it is
song,
like
giving another.
right. And I want to nail this one change, but I'm not yet, but it's okay. So here we go. East of the sun and west of the moon, we'll build a dream house of love, dear, near to the sun in the day, near to the moon at night. We'll live in a lovely way, dear, living on love and pale moonlight, just you and I, forever and a day. Love will not die, we'll keep it that way. Up among the stars we'll find a harmony of life to a lovely tune, east of the sun and west of the moon, dear, east of the sun and west of the moon. Oh, an alarm is going off? Okay. Almost got it. East of the sun and west of the moon, we'll build a little dream house of love, dear, near to the sun in the day, near to the moon at night. We'll live in a lovely way, living on love and pale moonlight, just you and I, forever and a day. Our love will never die, we'll keep it that way. Up among the stars will shine a harmony of life to a lovely tune. East of the sun, west of the moon. East of the sun and west of the moon. That's supposed to end.
Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. Hey, Wendy, I want to sing a little bit in your low range for a second. So that east of the sun, was that?
East of the
Oh,
sun.
yeah. So I'd love to hear you take that full richness of the lower part of your voice into the upper part of your voice.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
think you
doing
have
that.
more body up there, you know? Ah, if you go the minute it gets a little thinned out sometime. And I don't think you need, I think you have much more stuff up there.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So
Well, if I do
don't
like
think
more
of going
chest.
up. Like one exercise you can do. Let's see if I can do it. So here's 1 to 5. Ah, everybody sing that. Ah, and then the 5 to 8. 5, 8, 5. Ah, mouth open. Ah. So what you're doing is you're telling your brain, ah. Try that. And you don't want to shift gears, right? You want this, we're trying to have it all be in the same place, regardless of resonance or anything. We're not even at the break anyway. So let's do an O, oh, nice, smooth transition.
Oh, should I shut off the
Yeah,
volume?
yeah, do it. Yeah. Now what
Oh,
you
tired.
did, and you can listen to it. The first one was so rich, oh, and then you went, oh, then you shifted up on that same
Oh.
key. So, oh, that's the idea of, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
There you go. So that's an exercise to really help us not think up and change our tone and thin it out on the top. You really sing great on this, Wendy. You really do. Now notice, any of you, if you listen to the original of this, I bet you anything it's like, east of the sun and west. I bet you it's a really slow foxtrotty kind of thing, you know. So when we do it faster, we have challenges. We don't ever want to have to go living in love and pale moonlight. That's a lot of lyrics, right? At a faster tempo. So, you know, where is it? Living in love and pale moonlight. That's a lot of love. It's a lot of lyrics, and we don't want them to come in living in love and pale moonlight. You know,
Yeah.
that sounded, you know. So
Yeah.
don't let anything. Make sure it's all planned time wise, right? And also, if you take a note that's longer, don't let it take away from getting to the end of the phrase. You know, da, blah, 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 you know, da, 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 you know, to make sure you get to the end of the phrase, and the end of the phrase should have the most juice to it anyway. And we tend to make the higher notes have the juice. So, but I think your ideas are fantastic, and I love the recomp, and I mean, that's my only comment about just getting more from your, you know, from
I
the lower range.
really appreciate that because I kind of am puzzled when I go up there. It's like, why does it sound like this? I have that. Why does it keep sounding like that? I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking like what you're
Brain,
saying.
brain thinking up, you know, but so just practice, you know,
Yeah.
just practice that.
Very good.
Build up.
Very good point.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank
Very,
you. Thank you.
my pleasure. Carol, you reconsidering? She said maybe.
I'm humbled to say that I hurt my back.
Oh,
Who knew just today, just this afternoon, who knew that a 14-pound baby would do me in like this? But my back is spasming right now, so I don't think I'm at my
okay,
best.
okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
It just happened. It just happened a couple hours ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. Watch out for those babies. Anybody else? Laura, anybody? Oh, Nalco, hi.
Hi.
Miss
So,
Cherry Blossom.
so I just I'm working on the just a half I finished. So I'm gonna sing "If I Should Lose You" and the first chorus and a half and half.
Okay.
So today I am going to not use the reverse system. So maybe I can more
you know,
Yeah, just so everybody knows, I had suggested
Yes.
to Naoko that she delivers to us in this class a very raw kind of presentation because you have got great electronics going on there, but we just want to, yeah,
Yeah.
raw is good for
All
this.
right. All right, let's go. Okay. If I should lose you, the stars will fall from the sky. If I should lose you, the leaves will wither and die. The birds in Maytime will sing a mournful refrain, and I will wander around, hating the sound of rain. With you beside me, the rose will bloom and the snow with you beside me. No winds of winter will blow. I gave you my love, and I was living a dream, and living would seem in vain if I lost you. That's it, be ever that do ba do ba do ba dee be ba we ba dee do way Betty Betty's do way better it better be Betty Betty be ba dee be Betty bo Betty bo bo do ba dee ba do. With you beside me, the rose will bloom in the snow. With you beside me, no winds of winter will blow. I gave you my love, and I was living a dream, but living would seem in vain if I lost you.
Yeah, very nice. And keep that open on lost. If I lost, that's nice. Yeah, you can have a nice in that, and that'll keep that vowel open a little bit more, right?
Okay.
If I lost you, try that.
If I lost you, ah,
Don't get going up,
ah,
right? It's a little tiny E flat.
right,
That's
ah,
it. If you think up, you're gonna go you're gonna bring it up,
right, yeah,
right? Sing
right.
oh, think up,
Oh,
oh, think straight ahead. There you
oh.
go. You see that?
Okay.
All you did is change a picture in your brain that you were going and that was thinning it out. And when you went
Right.
if I lost you,
If I lost you.
there you go.
Okay.
Lost is open now. So what? Guess what? We got to the U.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's really a trap that we all tend to fall into is
Yeah.
this up thing, and we pull away, and then we lose
Right.
some excitement. That was gorgeous. That was gorgeous.
Oh,
You know, this song has some nice half steps that you really want to squeeze all the juice out of
yeah.
them. Do-do-do-do-do, da 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 da.
Right.
Da 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 da. That's just a wild melody, isn't it?
Yeah.
No winds of winter would blow. You're going right around that B flat, A, B, B flat. So I would, clean those, get those a little bit more open, and you'll make your melody point even stronger.
Yeah.
Very,
Thank you
very
so much.
nice.
Thank you so much.
I think also, when you're scatting on a song like this, it's got a certain emotional flavor to it, right? It's not,
Right.
and I think you did a good job of that. It's got a yearning, We I don't ever want to lose you. It's a very good exercise to try this. I did this for one of the workshops that you write a story. Like I just met John, and if John ever left me, I don't know what I would do. I just met John. If John ever left me, I'd never, never know what to do. I'm so happy with him. You write the words and then make up a melody for that. That is really what we're doing, but we're just not telling the people what we're thinking about exactly. Just giving them the raw feeling. But it's a pretty fun exercise because it makes it more real. like, what do you want to say about this? It's got a lot of sadness. There would be you know, but it, again, like, I think it's a sadder one than, but not for me, but it depends on your perspective, right?
Right.
Any feedback from you guys? Very nice. See, I liked your voice with that, out that, all that extra electronics. I
Okay.
really did.
That's good
It was,
advice. Yeah. Thank you.
sometimes electronics mask
Yeah.
the sound, you know?
Right.
They put a beautiful around it, but that was a very beautiful sound. Your sound very direct to us, you know?
Okay.
I
Great.
thought,
Thank
you
you
know?
so much. Thank you.
So anyway, I just want to thank you all for being part of this experiment, and I hope I get a chance to do it again so I can clean it up a little bit. But it's very challenging, you know, because everyone will have a different approach to improvisation. That is the point. Your story, your way. Some people will be more rhythmic, some will be more harmonic, some will be smoother, some will be, you know, it's all, that's all fine as long as it swings, right? If we're doing a swing tune, that it swings, and we sing notes that are clean and make sense and in clean rhythmic places. Otherwise, it's mushy, right? If I'm singing a song is going, you know, there's not a clean message there. So that's the importance of precision, is that we have more power with, you know, with the melody and with the placement, and then we can be really loose with it. But definitely practice your triplets, you know. So when you have to go, you know, with your eighth note triplets or with your half note quarter triplets, and do some of those Ted Reed, I can't believe I stole that, but anyway, those exercises from the book. There are a lot more drum exercises that you could pick that would be a combination dot da do ba 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 beep ba ba boop, like this one. I can't believe I did it. Listen to that, Best Thing for You. It's crazy. I can't even do it yet. It's really hard. It's really hard. Hod wrote it for me. Thank you, Hod. So I'm going to relearn it and try to figure it out again, and hope that the piano player will play with me. Yes, Maria.
Well, I don't know if you have time or if you're interested, but could we do like continue this course? Because this feels like you know, like scat one. Could we? So,
I just wrote about it in the chat.
oh
I don't
really?
think
Oh,
about
that's
because you
great.
learn from everybody
I
Well,
thought I
so
gave you
much.
enough to work on for the next 10
Oh,
years.
yeah.
I have to think of, you know, I think it's hard. I want to make sure that I really appreciate you saying that. What I just did today made me realize how much I really, I don't hear it, like, because this thing goes like, goes, but it's like ba do. So it's not da. It's not on the beat. It's da 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 didn't da do ba da ba didn't ba. It's off the. So that's the exercise that I gave you. That's like da. You know, singing on the beat, off the beat, because we really need to know where those places are. I'm game for it. Hey, look, I'm the
I
queen of
mean,
handouts.
because this is such a process. It's a real process, you know, and I mean, to be able to continue this would be, I mean, it just makes sense, right?
It would be great to take a solo, like take a song like Twisted or something. And get the phrasing. And really start to feel the way those horns are playing. Although John Hendricks didn't like the way I sang Twisted. He didn't like it because guess who I learned it from? Bette Midler and Joni Mitchell. Because I didn't know who Annie Ross was. I didn't know who Wardell Gray was. So he heard that in my voice. And I was like, I don't know if I can get them out of there. It's like, you know, anyway. But we could do something like that, you know, really dive into the phrasing and the nuances of the horns, because that's I mean, I can demonstrate what I hear. You can demonstrate what you hear. We can share ideas about it. Just so we have shapes, you know, You go up to something, you don't just go beep, you don't just go to it, you go up and through it. It's not just da 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 da. See the difference? One's going da 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 da, and one's going do 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 do, like it's pushing it forward. So there's lots of different. I can certainly tell you what I'm hearing. You know, it's just maybe a little bit. I'm just done more hearing of it than you have, but you know, I don't think so. I think just I've got weird things going in my head. But I'd be happy to help any way I can. And you guys, I just encourage you to keep going with it and hang around some horn players. And I know we don't often get gigs where we can hire a horn, but it really makes a big difference to be with another wind instrument because they'll teach you a lot. They'll go, no, that's really nice. I think it is anyway.
Juan, is it possible? I don't know how long it would take to describe how to put the coda on on the tag on the iRoll Pro. Is it hard to explain, Juan? Like, is it like a?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert, but if you show me what you got, at least I can at least try to tell you how you can quickly fix it. But I'm not
Oh,
really an expert on
okay.
real
It's okay. I deleted it because it was messing with my introduction for some reason when I put the coda on.
Oh,
I don't understand it.
okay.
I'll figure it out eventually. Or I think there might be a thing on a course, pre-recorded course on Jazz Voice on how to use
That's
the iRoll Pro.
probably true. But I'm happy to meet with you, like privately, if we want to figure out something. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll let you know if the course doesn't do the trick and
Okay.
yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no worries.
Well, I wish you all the very, very, very best. I'm going to try to get to see you in Anna Marie and in Arizona this year. I'm going to try to make that happen. And I hope you guys will see you in Mesbro. I'm also going to be in Pangea in December because that's when Veronica sings at the Blue Note with Chris Bodie. So I try to hang
Oh,
out with her.
wow.
That's the only time I get to see her, man. And I'm
Oh,
intercept her, on the way. I'll also be in Seattle in the beginning of December. But anyway, just been lovely to be with you all. And thank you for your comments and support and for being in the game.
Thank you so much.
Family.
Thank you so much,
you.
Stephanie. It was
It's
great.
been great. We have so much to work with. Like
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't even get a chance to it just barely started to process it all. Like so
Right.
it's gonna like help us so much
Good, I'm glad.
in our practice and
And
our
feel
work.
free to disagree. This is just some ideas. You may say, "Oh, I don't do that at all." I don't. That's fine.
Nice to see you all.
Keep in touch with your, if you have something you want to share with me, something you've done, I'd love to hear it and see it and catch you live sometime. Okay.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Swinging.
Bye.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you.
See you
See you
soon.
soon. Bye.
Thank you.